What do you do when life throws you a curveball?
About a year ago, Nolan Sprague's life was turned upside down. At just 17 years old, he was left paralyzed from the chest down after fracturing his neck in a devastating swimming pool accident.
We shared his story with you a year ago. Tonight, KCTV5's SAVANNAH RUDICEL checks in to see how far he's come.
This baseball field is like a second home to Nolan. He's a guy who loves baseball, Dairy Queen, and bonfires with his friends. We're sharing Nolan's story with you tonight because he is more than a terrible accident. He's a teenager who's defined by what happens next. Nolan Sprague had dreams of going to the majors, but life slid an unimaginable pitch by the athlete.
He's been swimming in that pool a bunch of times and dove into that pool a bunch of times, and just one time, you know, wrong angle.
He took a shallow dive into a Shawnee pool last summer. He came back up with no feeling below his neck and no idea what his future would look like.
That's the saddest conversation I've had with him so far. And it wasn't a long one because he was still very groggy and sleepy, but in the brief moments that he was awake, that's the one thing that he brought up, is baseball.
Nolan was a pitcher for Mill Valley High School. He had hopes to play professionally. Then doctors told him the best he could hope for was a life confined to a bed.
The first few days, the first month even, is just a loss. You know, you're just kind of lost, and you don't, you know, you have different plans going in your head, and then all of a sudden you're shoved into this new life.
The Spragues' new lives were filled with hours of intense rehab at a hospital in Colorado. They spent months trying to get any kind of sensation or movement to the rest of his body. Nolan's hard work proved he was still an athlete, physically and mentally.
Baseball, there's a lot of life lessons because you fail more than you succeed. So you have to, kind of keep on going.
The pitcher's efforts paid off. He came back home to a new normal.
Focusing on therapy and hanging out with friends a lot, so.
And an old love.
Still being around baseball was a pretty big thing because I don't know what else I would have done because most of my friends play baseball, so they would have been out doing baseball and I really wouldn't have had anything to do.
Nolan's mom, Carmen, says support from his friends on and off the team helped keep his spirits up.
He's, you know, never been one to get too worked up about anything. And, you know, if I was to get worked up about something in my life, I would think it would have been breaking my neck. But he didn't, you know, he's just like, okay, well, this happened, you know, and now what?
Now, Nolan is taking the year to focus on physical therapy.
Slow it down just a little bit.
He goes 5 times a week to strengthen his muscles and gain more feeling. It's not always easy.
Ooh.
Too much on the stomach?
Yeah, kind of hurt.
But help from the community keeps his family focused on his recovery. It's not just help mowing the lawn and bringing over meals. Nolan's medical care and therapy has been paid for entirely by donations. People also donated time and resources to remodel the basement into an accessible apartment. He's learning how to get what most 18-year-olds want.
Being where I'll be fully independent, start driving here soon, so that would be nice. So then I can just kind of get out of the house by myself.
And get him moved out of the house, because that's the next step. That's what's supposed to happen. You know, it's not that I, you know, don't want him here, but it is the next step. It's the natural next step.
And Nolan's next step might be back onto the field.
Thought maybe coaching somewhere, just baseball, or because I have a lot of baseball knowledge and I like being around baseball.
Who better than Nolan to teach people a thing or two about curveballs? If you'd like to follow along with the rest of Nolan's recovery, head to KCTV5's Facebook page. You can find a link to the hashtag Team Nolan profile. There's over 2,600 people keeping tabs on him online. Reporting in Shawnee, SAVANNAH RUDICEL, KCTV5 News.